Okay. So we'll go to Stormwind. We'll talk to there to get the next bit of the quest going. Then we'll fly down to Booty Bay to get going on the Art of War. And then either later on or tomorrow we'll work on the hammer again. At least get up to the Scarlet Monastery bit. Actually, while I'm at this, just saying the entrance to Scarlet Monastery is 22 to 22 to 30. Scarlet Monastery, I think, is higher level than that. But honestly, I love old school Terraceful Guides. Old school Terraceful Guides is beautiful. They ruined it in Canada. They ruined it in Canada. I loved this zone. I am very tempted in rolling up a necromancer. Not a necromancer. A warlock. Sorry. I was starting to remember, as I was talking about that, I started remembering having a conversation with a guy who was openly bullshitting me about playing the game. Playing like, oh yeah, I have this character in this class. And it's like, that doesn't exist in the game. I was like taking him too much at face value and it's like, you know, trying to correct him when not realizing he's just fucking with me. I think they saw the South Park episode and such. I was a butt of a joke for playing it. I think that's what was motivating it. That, or they just like WoW and I was a butt of a joke of it for what? For that? I really don't know, honestly. Opportunities is as much of a motivator as anything else. But anyway, yeah, I'll probably roll up a warlock and give that a look over there. Reason it's a warlock, that's one of the first characters I made. I ended up deleting him and remaking him as a human because I couldn't think of a new name, so I just used the same one. And then I rolled it, did it once more? The human's certainly gone at this point anyway. I don't have retail downloaded right now, so I can't double check.
Welcome to the Cathedral of Light.
I deleted it to save space. It's pretty huge. The Scourge is a persistent threat to the Alliance. A fact I'm sure you know quite well. Recently, we've come across some peculiar findings, Gorik. In the Barrens lies a horrid tangle of briars called Razorfin Downs. What once was the home of simple Quillbore, now it has become apparent that a pact has been made with the Scourge, creating creatures far worse. They're now ruled by the Lich, Illari, the Coldbringer. Align yourself with the Light, Gorik. Put an end to this evil union. 1 agility, 7 stamina, 10 spirit. Not the worst. Not the worst either. Neither is something I would use. Oh, it's a free way to get a fortitude buff. Thank you. You think you would have a higher tier of it?
Well met. Light blessing.
What is it that you have there, my friend?
Safe travel.
Catherine sighs heavily. Yes, Gurik. Do know of this weapon. I'd assumed its owner died long ago.
Farewell. Be careful.
Catherine winces as she holds the shattered fragments of a broken hammer. I won't speak of this weapon's master in detail, for the telling would fill me with shame, but I'll tell you what I can.
Go with honor, friend. Need help?
I'll make this brief, for I do know what you think on this long, Gurik. The owner of this hammer was once a member of the Silver Hand called Aeneas the Quiet. He was a solitary, studious paladin, and it was just as common to find him studying in the library alone as you would find him in the art training. Aeneas was utterly devoted to the light and was by all accounts a model paladin. That is, until he left the order. How did he come to leave the order? The peculiarities I'll not speak of. As I said, it fills me with shame. Suffice to say that he began to develop a few very unpopular opinions, and that led to some rather public disagreements with her leadership. After one such disagreement led to a formal censure of Aeneas, he became a pariah and a constant target of chastisement. At some point, I suspect the man decided he had enough, renounced his rank and station, and set off alone. What became of him? I do not know. Not seen nor heard of him since he left the order. I do know he had a passion for deceit, and was an accomplished angler. On the rare occasions over the years when my thoughts turned to Aeneas, I prefer to imagine he's peacefully retired to some sleepy village, where he spent his days on the dock fishing and nights curled up by a cozy fire, blissfully ignorant of all the ugliness with artists, the war, and everything that came after. A vain hope, certainly. That is a pleasant thought, though after what I've seen, I think it is unlikely. Gratefully, I agree. And our shared time in the order was brief, as he left shortly after I first joined, but I remember him well, and I looked up to him. He had my respect even after his censure and departure from the order. Find his weapon discarded and broken like this bodes ill. What was even more troubling was the scene you described. Burning blade are not to be trifled with, and the Scarlet Crusade have proven themselves to be even more dangerous still as of late. When I pray that the light guides you to Aeneas, however. Aeneas, however. Be careful, though. I have a bad feeling about all of this. Very well. We'll learn more of Aeneas' fate in my travels. Thank you.
Be careful. King's honor, friend. Light bless you.
You have a few clues to go on, so it may be difficult to find Aeneas, but you should try.
Go with honor, friend.
That sends you to Menethil. Ooh. Oh, come on, game. Don't pull an FF14.
Can I help you?
Anyway, we'll head down south. Because I'd rather do that swim once and only once.
Well met. Go with honor.
But yeah, it seems like this is going to go on for like another year at least. So, like we're getting into Molten Core now and Onyxia. Then there's going to be more endgame advancements after that. I don't know how many patches there were to old WoW. They did mine. There's 1.1 World of Warcraft. There's Maradon. Runes Darmal. This is broken up differently. Meeting Stones, Darmal, Azurgos, or Kazag. Call to War, which is Epic Priest Quest, Epic Hunter Quest, PvP Honor System. That was introduced then. That wasn't a base game thing. 1.5 introduced Battlegrounds, AV, and Warsong. Unless you don't need caught. And Sultan Blackwing Lair. Imagine this going differently. Where like it had ooh. The WoW came out in Europe nearly a month after it did US. Imagine this being patched differently. Seems Molten Core was in the game from the get-go. Fair enough. It makes sense, I suppose. Then Blackwing Lair. Then Zul'Gurub, Ratty Basin. Then the Dragons of Nightmare world bosses. The revamped Siltus. Then they added in Encourage. Storms of Azeroth, which brought in the tier .05 armor sets, weather effects. Then there's Shadow Necropolis, which brings in Naxxramas. And they added in the Great Staff of the Guardian. Then Drums of War, which cross-realm battlegrounds, outdoor world PvP enhancements, and various changes. Okay, I thought the patching would be different. Like, this patch introduced Molten Core and Onyxia. This patch introduces, like kind of like modern WoW patches. I was kind of expecting that for Classic. And so I was imagining the phases would just resemble that. But even looking at what's there, I could say maybe 3 more phases after the next one, at least. But they are hinting at a Karazhan thing, which is a completely new thing, Apparently there's a picture of, they showed Nomergan, Skarl Monastery, and the other place, Karazhan, and they updated Nomergan. I don't think they've done anything with Skarl Monastery, but they have an opening to do some with Karazhan. So it's of interest. It could be something cool. So I'm excited. I do wonder how much longer this is going to go on for, because I am enjoying playing Gorik here, and I know I'm not going to play him if he's just reduced down to a classic, baseline classic paladin. I'm not going to play him. I'm not going to enjoy him, because classic paladins suck. It's not fun. And he's going to lose all his fun equipment here. He's, all his new goodies. He's going to lose them. So, like, looking at him right now, he would have 2 moves: Judgment and Exorcism, and he can only use Judgment regularly. And he wouldn't have Blessing and Martyr. Blessing and Martyr. He would have this one, and he would have this one, and Seal Command. That's all he would have. So, he would suck. I would lose Crusader Strike, wouldn't have Divine Storm, and I wouldn't be able to do Exorcism willy-nilly. I would only be able to do it on Dead and Demons. I'm not playing. So I want this to go on for a while so I can, have my fill and be able to happily move on. If they end up doing Burning Crusade Plus Season of Discovery, I'll play that. I'll keep going with Gorik. I'll be happy with that. But if they just call an end to it and do a new season, I'm not sure I'll hit it up. Because I'll have to go through all this all over again. And I'm not sure I'll dig it, you know? Maybe at a later stage I would come back and do it, but certainly not straight away. So I kind of want this to go on as long as possible. So that's why I was looking at the other patch notes to see if I could get, you know, just a clear thing. But like one of the patches didn't introduce any new raids or dungeons or anything. It was just, here's weather effects and the 0.5 sets, you know? That's it. So it's just less clear cut. There is some like guide there, but it's not as like, okay, like, you know, like in modern WoW it's distinct. Okay, here's a new patch, introduces a new questing zone, here's a new dungeon and raid, here's a new patch, introduces 2 new dungeons and a raid and a quest zone. You know, there's stuff like that. But in the classic thing there, it's like, okay, this one introduces a raid, here's warrior fixes. This one, weather effects. This one, how about the, you know, a battleground? Ooh, you know, battleground's already all here. So, you know, it's, yeah. But, so yeah, there's Molten Core and a Nix. I'm not sure if Nixia is coming next patch. I think it is. So, Molten Core and a Nixia next. Then there'll be Blackwing Lair. Then it's Zul'Grub. And then it's AQ. Then it's next Rammus. And if they release them as they were released originally, that's Molten Core and Nixia. After that, it's Blackwing Lair, Zul'Grub, AQ 20 and 40, and next Rammus. So 4 more patches after the next one. But I'm not sure what's coming in the last patch of the year. There's 2 more phases this year. Next is Molten Core, but then there's endgame improvements being flagged for the next one. Maybe they're not sure what they'll put in it. It's up in the air. Or maybe they're trying to build suspense. They already know, you know, they're already so, you know, like, maybe that's going to be the updated Karazhan thing. Maybe that's going to be the Karazhan thing. Because the Karazhan sellers have always been a thing of mystery. Because if you go over to Karazhan right now, there's a portal over there. I might do that. There's a portal over there in the sellers. And there's also a thing in the war that's never been depicted in WoW. The upside down Karazhan, where Medivh is struck down. So, that could be cool to see. But I doubt they'll go for that far. They'll probably just stick with the catacombs. You need something? Make it quick. You with the Marshal? No, you don't look like it. The rumors you've heard are only half true. Yes, we're pillaging human and dwarven camps. We're not doing it for the Horde. We're privately employed. I'll tell you the whole story if you buy me some grog.
May your blades never dull.
Yo. Hurry back.
Look, Tom.
How's that drink coming?
Fight well.
Ah, that's tough. Now where was I?
Spring.
As I was saying, our boss was with the Horde. She's a night elf named Illari Duskfeather. She gave us intel in the camps and even let us keep most of the loot. She only kept a few of the rarer finds. Once Marsh was on her tail though, she left us for dead. I don't know her motives, but I think we're set up as pansies. Not vengeful type, but won't stop someone else from hunting her down. If you're looking for her, she once mentioned a hideout somewhere near Arati.
Go forward. Victory.
What's up? Hurry back. Time is money.
What? We all have profit to make. Won't do it by standing idle.
Glad I could help.
You have those shards yet? We'll give you a decent cut from the profits.
For
The
real.
deeds will do nicely, Gork. Yes, quite nicely. Here's your cut. It was a pleasure doing business with you.
Glad I could help.
The venture company has a string of Operation Strangletorn, which keeps hard-working goblins like me from making honest gold. Please, you must help me. The venture company is mining near this crystal vein mine to the north. They can't get into the mine because of the basilisks, but they'll be able to dig up singing crystals from surrounding hills. Take their crystals from them, and show them that they don't have to run in the jungle. And, bring me those crystals as proof.
Hurry back. Keep it real.
Zanzil the Outcast dwells with his followers in the Jubuai, and Aboraz runes northeast of Booty Bay. Six those from his. I read that before.
Glad I could help. Can I help you?
Whiskey Slim's Lost Grog. We were splicing the main brace something fierce off the overlook cliffs. Old hinterlands just in the distance. Thought the seas was gonna swallow us whole. Old Slim knows all about the liquid courage. Captain had a crate of Purple Aberfo's port we commandeered from a privateer en route to Stormwind. So when that grog of when that storm of hinterlands hit, I busted into the grog. Big wave hit and tossed them bottles overboard. Cap is gonna give me a taste of the cat if you don't help me get them back, though.
Alrighty then.
Okay. I got Booty Bay rep for the Paladin quest there. Oh no, that was the Blue Shards quest. Yes, that makes sense.
Here there. Very good.
I remember reading this one. You go to the bridge between wetlands and Arati. Go down to the water. There's a boat. Take the boat, and you end up at a hideout. Thankfully, the boat knows the way there. But yeah, if they follow the raid spacing of classic WoW, then there's probably gonna be like 4 more patches to this after the next one. But the one after the Molten Core one is a bit like it's up in the air as to what it is. They're just saying end game improvements. That could mean Blackwing Lair. That could mean something else. You don't know. They were apparently hinting at a Karazhan thing. Apparently they had a photo talking about updates to Classic WoW, but to SOD, and they had a photo of 3 instances. Gnomergan, which got upgraded. Scar Monastery, which didn't. And then they also had a picture in there of Karazhan. And apparently more particularly the crypts. So it's possible that they're going to add in some unique new content, completely new dungeons. So it may go on for more than the classic WoW release cycle. I hope it does, but who knows? Because like I said, I'm not going to play Gorik if he gets reduced down to, classic Pally. I'm not going to play him if he gets, booted out into just the classic servers. I'm just here for SOD. I'm really digging Classic Plus WoW. It's nice to play WoW again. It's nice to get to play Classic WoW with some improvements and whatnot. In some ways, I feel this is the best way to play Classic WoW. If you want a raw Classic experience, obviously it's not. But if you want to see the old world pre-Kata, but with some improvements, it is the best way to do it. An alternative way would be to say play it during, a Burning Crusade or Wrath of the Lich King servers. But this is an alternate way, Say it's probably the best, it's an alternate way to do it. And depending on what you want, it could be better than doing it that way. Alternatively, the others could be better than doing it this way. There's some new events to it that are fun to try. They improve some characters. New classes can tank. New classes can do this and that, and it's a bit of fun, And so certainly that goes against the vanilla spirit, but it is still feels like vanilla WoW, At least what I'm doing here, It doesn't feel like I'm just playing retail or something. So yeah. Sorry. Remember that thing that was distracting me earlier? Bugging me again. I forgot about it for a while there, but it's back. But anyway, um, I'm gonna feck off here. Might as well get comfortable. It's gonna be a bit of a flight. I am still recording, right? Yes. So anyway, Amy, stop the recording. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, like, obviously it differs from classic WoW. It's not a pure classic experience, but I do think it's a nice way to try out classic with some improvements. Like, you wouldn't want to try out classic and ever play a paladin. Paladins are gimped as shit in classic WoW. They're not in a good condition. They're in a pretty bad condition in classic WoW. But here, Gorik here, is actually fun to play. I am kind of lacking on abilities, but I'm in the process of fixing this up. I'll be getting exorcism, like exorcism as is can be used on anything now thanks to SOD. But now, with a coming upgrade, Art of War, I'll be able to use it every time I crit. In the next patch, it'll be reduced down to critting, just getting it off cooldown sooner, 1 second per crit, but still, it's still better than baseline Paladins and Classic. So, like, again, you don't get the true Classic experience playing SOD. There is updates and changes and twists. But you still do kind of get a bit of a Classic feel. And it is nice seeing the old world and how people had to play the game back then. But it's, dulled a bit. It's made a bit more palatable thanks to the changes brought in SOD. Like, Paladins are actually playable. They were games as shit in Classic. They were like Retribution Paladins were a terrible class spec. They were dog shit, and they're so much better here. So much, more powerful. So, if you want to get the Classic feel without necessarily having to deal with the questionable design choices of Classic, it is a pretty nice thing. So I'm actually really enjoying it, and honestly, I would keep playing if they did say Burning Crusade Plus, Wrath Plus, I will keep playing. That would be fun. Well, that's just me. They probably won't do that. It took Blizzard a long time to actually acquiesce to the idea of classic servers. I remember getting into a fair bit of a squabble with classic server fans, people with private servers, getting into a fair bit of a squabble with them. Remember when I got the heebie-jeebies earlier, when I thought I saw something? Yeah, my skin is still crawling. That's what's distracting me. It just has me all paranoid now. It's been a while, yes, but that's how skeeved out I am of these. Like, I'm a terrible, terrible germaphobe. I don't feel like going into it today, but if you've watched enough of my vids, you know how bad I am. I've talked about it before. I may say it again in another vid, another day, but there's an Easter egg hunt for you. I'm building my lore. Like, I know it's just in my head, but it's still the creeping sensation still creeping the shit out of me. I've looked, I checked, I'm fine. It just have the fucking heebie-jeebies. Honestly, I feel like I'm gonna sleep here. It's kind of nice listening to the flapping of the wings, the different ambience, the music. Having the headset on is kind of nice. But we're just here by Manitou. I'll rest my eyes a moment longer, but don't worry, I won't fall asleep. I've had, not long before recording, I had a cup of coffee. And then I had a little bit more caffeine there during that break earlier. So, and to be honest, lately, I'm having difficulty falling asleep before 5 a.m. Oh, and I did nod off a bit earlier. Just in a bit of a funk. So, lit in bed and ended up dozing off.
What can I do for you? Light bless you.
How are you?
Harold and Stuart are engaged in a loud, lively conversation as you approach. Stuart, buddy, you lucky old ANS hasn't been back into town yet. That rod you just broke was his favourite. Gonna tan your hide when he find out. Pardon me, did you say Anus as in Anus the Quiet? Did you know him? Quiet? The Anus I know ain't exactly quiet, especially when it comes to fishing. Yeah, I know him alright. So not too long ago, in fact. He let Stuart here the dolt borrow his favourite fishing rod. No idea he was so dang popular, though. Between you and me, between you and that last bunch that come asking after him, seems to be the belle of the ball. Ha! I'd like to speak with him if possible. Do you know where I can find him? Not too sure. Drifts into town on that awful old skiff of his every now and then. Trades for supplies mostly. Dried meat, ale, bait, that sort of thing. She stops by for a spell to talk shop with Stuart and I as well. Good guy. We like him. He usually sails in from the southwest, hugging the coast. Not sure where he's staying. Not much out that way other than narrow coast up against sheer mountains. Can't be far either, especially with him sailing that beat-up old wreck. Sparkle that thing even floats, I tell you. Mention others have been looking for him. Can you tell me about that? They didn't seem as, let's say, cordial as you. There were 4 of them rode in yesterday in fact. They were dressed all in red like some sort of fair clowns. They sure weren't clowning around though, I tell you. Seemed as hard as nails. I told them what I told you, but I'm thinking maybe that was a mistake. Hope not, Harold. Thanks for the information. Aye. Hope that old anus isn't in any kind of trouble. It's good, man. A little gruff, but that's what you get to be his. But when you get to be his age, you've fairly earned the right to be a bit gruff. But he loves fishing just like me, and I think that's a-okay. If you catch up with him, tell him Harold sends his best, and tell him Stuart owes him a new rod.
Safe travel.
So yeah, you have to swim down to Newman's Port, which is over here. It's where you go when you're actually making your character, apparently. When you're in that intro cinematic, character has to be somewhere in the world, and they're there. At least that's how it apparently used to work. I'm not sure if it's still the case. It's nice that I'm on to Mithril now. Makes me feel I'm getting into big leagues. Reminds me of the days when that was, just reminds me of back in the day when I was, leveling, Palanai. Playing all this is getting me kind of nostalgic. Random chests. It's just getting me nostalgic for back in the day. When, I was leveling Palnai originally, I was playing with my aunt and all that. She varied between having a Draenei Hunter and a Human Mage. When I was starting on Palnai, she had gotten a little head start on me on her Hunter. But then at some point she switched to that Mage. Not sure if she played much of her hunter after that. Just get me nostalgic for the old days.
Pleased to meet you. Off and away.
As you can kind of gather, there was a falling out there, so yeah. It is what it do be how it do be do. I'm just trying to fix my headset. So whereas the cable in it is coming out. You know, like there's the cable running the length of the headband. It's not actually like it's exposed basically. The headband isn't like a full like cover. There's like the back of it's open, and sometimes the cable pops out. And I've gotten so many electric shocks, I was starting to wonder if that wasn't, if the creeping sensation wasn't off the headband. Actually take it off for a second and just have a look. Just like, it would be knowing my look that the cable will be banjaxed or something, you know? No, it seems fine. Maybe it's just sitting weird or something. But, yeah.
What's on your mind?
Well,
It's weird seeing, like, as far as I remembered, before the like celebrations were very much mono-faction. You wouldn't have, like, say, Tauren with humans. It would be Tauren with orcs, or whatever. Hey folks, and I'm back. 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure if this is the one I want, but we'll have a look. Ooh. Okay. This is to do with enlightened judgments. Rune of piety. Dark iron letter. Okay, it's just a bit of armor. Alright. Hmm. I wonder if I can come back here even when I'm done the quest. Imagine having this as a nice little base. Be cute. Could have little stables over there. Oh, didn't they replace this picture in retail WoW with like a bowl of fruit or something? Because like, oh no, our execs got caught, you know, stealing milk from the fridge. Let's replace fictional women with bowls of fruit. That will fix it. Like, seriously. Alright, Duskfeather. Illari's eyes narrow with suspicion. What are you doing here, human? You're the one who attacked those alliance camps in Desolus, aren't you? Yes, and we'll do it again if those damn marshals weren't so persistent. But you're a night elf. Why would you do such a thing? Galamdor belongs to the cult Dorai. Refused to seat the fall by the lesser races. Leaders act as if the Lions and Horde are so different, but at base our lands all the same. Do you not see how the dwarves plunder the earth for all they can? Do you think the human appetite for expansion will not bring them to the foot of Teldrassil one day, blades and torches in hand? They think my people bow to those vermin over a few orcish lumber camps. Pathetic. If our leaders cannot protect us, then I'll do what must be done. People who killed were civilians. What you've done is abhorrent. I don't expect a weakling like yourself to understand. Value your life, however, you'll stay out of my way. You know what? You're not worth stunning. I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you. So what was that you're saying about weak? No, it cannot end here. Ooh, she doesn't die. Wonder if she'll actually come back. Would be nice if that actually does, you know, is a thing. You know, she is actually ends up being a recurring thing. Using Ari's key, you unlock the cache. Inside the cache, you find a small box along with some coin. Rune of Warfare. Awesome. On to the boots. Awesome. Now I am stronger. Henshin. Stronger. I'm not gonna try and expand it out like he does. But let's move back to the boat. Your melee critical strikes reset the cooldown on Holy Shock and Exorcism. The mana cost of Holy Shock and Exorcism is reduced by 80%. I forgot about the mana reduction. Hoorah! 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 Seriously, go watch Kamen Rider. It's fun. I've only watched up to Sky Rider, as ignoring Kuga and the reimagining of Amazon. But it's fun. It's good.